Before I say anything about this episode, just listen to this real quick.
なのになんで俺はオールマイトを終わらせちまってんだ。
You're not gonna tell me that voice acting wasn't deserving of a pay raise. That was incredible. Like, I dare say, this is a almost close to a 10 out of 10 episode as you possibly could be. As a manga reader, as someone that has loved the journey of the anime way more than the manga, and don't get me wrong, the manga's great. The manga is amazing every single week when a new chapter comes out, and I've said this myself. But the anime, once again, really shows how much Studio Bones and the entire team and anyone that works on this series, how much they really love this show, how much they love My Hero Academia. And I bet Horikoshi right now, as the main author of My Hero Academia, is probably just jumping for joy, seeing how his baby, his series, is just getting adapted like it is. This episode blew my mind with how good it was. Like, I knew what was going to happen, okay? I knew what was going to go down in this episode. But I'm not going to lie, while watching this, for a moment there, I actually thought Izuku was going to win. And this is coming from a man that has read the manga. It fooled me that well. That's incredible. That's really incredible to be able to do something like that, especially since I know what will happen. If there's one thing out of this entire episode that stood out to me besides the brilliant voice acting was the scene with Izuku and Bakugo when they're going at each other, and you see how the entire background just goes black, and you just see the footwork, the amazing footwork of Izuku as he's dodging or he's flying in midair and all that, trying to kick Bakugo. It's an incredible scene. And even before that actually happens, when the lead up to that with, Bakugo literally launching himself, using his explosions to launch himself straight for Izuku, and when Izuku as well just zipping right over to him, and then the background goes black. It was insane, and this did so much justice to the manga that honestly they're not even on the same level. And it's not the manga's fault. You can't do really as much as you can with an anime, but normally anime doesn't typically surpass their original source, which is a sad thing, honestly. It's a really sad reality, but it's the truth. But once again, another episode that honestly just goes many steps past the manga. And oh my god, what a way to really have this critical point of My Hero Academia handled in the anime. Bakugo is a character that honestly has been through so much, and now with this episode, to the reveals, to the internal conflict, just, there's so much that's happened to Bakugo, and now it's out there in the open. Everybody can really dissect his character and really see what's going on. And I want to kind of cover everything, kind of explain what's happening, and what does this mean for, Bakugo and even Izuku going forward from this point onward. So, let's go back to the beginning. The very beginning with Bakugo's character. As a kid, Bakugo was always praised. He had, lackeys, goons all around him, constantly praising him, saying he's amazing. And because of that, his ego got a little inflated. And he thought he was incredible. He thought that he was the greatest, person in the world, and that he was really close to being able to surpass All Might. He was very naive, and he thought he was strong. He thought his quirk was unbeatable, until he eventually got into UA. And then that is when the major wake-up call happened, and he realized people like him are just normal. That's what you see constantly in UA. People with insane abilities, or people that are just at such a high level, even with some abilities that don't look that crazy, like quirks, they could still use them in such a way that it can compete with someone like Bakugo or Todoroki. So Bakugo had a huge wake-up call. He knew he wasn't that special. He knew he wasn't as good as he thought he was. But even then, he still wasn't ready to admit it. He wasn't ready to accept these flaws that he had. When he first entered into the school, he realized someone like Izuku was able to make it in to UA, which you have to imagine from his perspective had to hurt a lot. And it's something that's been built up for a long time. It's kind of even mentioned in this episode that he was someone that was quirkless, someone that was always just, dragging behind Bakugo, always looking at his back, trying to keep up with the man. And, Bakugo always just shoved him back. It's like, how is he able to keep up with me, or why is he always behind me, even though I'm always being awful to him or shoving him away, trying to push him away, but he continuously chases after me. And when he sees someone like Izuku arrive in UA, he's like, holy crap, for someone like this that, I used to think was, useless, someone that would never go anywhere, someone that's quirkless, somehow you managed to get into one of the best schools that was UA. And so at that moment, that's when his entire foundation block, what he was as a person, started to come undone. Then, what really cranked it up and got it going even further was the fact that Izuku stomped him. The first time around, when he had their first real match in Season 1, he stomped Bakugo, and Bakugo was like, holy crap, I just got demolished by Deku, someone I have put down since the very beginning, and he stomped me. He has a quirk, and so he really didn't know how to accept it. He was just very angry, but he did kind of tone down after that, but even then, though, he was very angry. And then you go one step further, everyone in class, part of UA, part of Class A, they respect Izuku. Izuku has made a lot of friends. He is not an outcast amongst, Class A. He is someone that has gained a lot of support. He was someone that even had a chance of being like the class representative at the beginning of the series in Season 1. He didn't take it, obviously, or he didn't get it, but even then, though, he has had a lot of opportunity. He's had a lot of people really cheer him on. And when you look at Bakugo in this situation, he didn't really have that. Not many people really rallied behind him like his goons did when he was younger, and he was all alone. Now, eventually, he did start gaining friends, like Kirishima. Kirishima stuck up for him, stood with him, and was his friend. And then, Kaminari is slowly starting to become his friend as time goes on as well. But even then, though, he doesn't have as large of a support as someone like Izuku. The sports festival, when he actually won the sports festival, it was a hollow victory. It wasn't really a victory in the first place. He realized that, and automatically he felt like he lost in the first place. So that automatically started making his personality and, a wake-up call to what's happening too. See, in Season 3, he got captured. And he, once again, almost got saved by Izuku, which is a huge disgrace, because Bakugo does not want to be saved by Izuku. It's been a big thing for a very long time, since the first season. When Izuku came out of nowhere and was trying to save Bakugo and the Sludge Monster had him, he didn't want Izuku to save him, because it just felt like, out of all people to come save me, it's the very person that I put down and just made them feel awful, like they shouldn't even exist. So, because of all of this, you gotta imagine, Izuku in that moment in Season 3, once again trying to save him, it made Bakugo feel even more inferior to Izuku. When he is captured and All Might shows up, All Might is weakened, and eventually he falls from grace. He is no longer the symbol of peace. Now, us, as the audience, we know the story. We know what really happened. We understand that people would want to blame themselves. Izuku would want to blame himself, and Bakugo would want to blame himself, because they both technically, in some ways, they might have sped up the progress of All Might losing One for All. But regardless, it was bound to happen eventually. But Bakugo took it upon himself and is like, I'm the very reason for why my idol, my symbol, was crushed and fell to the ground. And you gotta imagine how much that must hurt. Being the very person that is probably responsible for the person you look up to hitting the ground and no longer being able to do anything ever again. So he's been carrying this weight within him. And that's not even included how the public views him as well. Think about it like this, too. The media, or society in general, in My Hero Academia is incredibly important. We've already seen this showcased in Season 3, with how Aizawa had to talk in front of, a vast amount of people, pretty much explaining the situation of what UA's doing, or how they can effectively combat villains, or why certain things might not happen. Hero Society's been kind of, rubbed in the mud. Their faces are all in the mud, and they look really bad. And this has been a very big part of the story. And Bakugo, as a character, when you really think about it, he's been in the news way more than any other character a part of Class A, or even UA in the first place. Think about it like this. Sludge Monster, Season 1, he was a part of the news. All Might had to come in and save him. In that moment, people recognized him. And we've already seen instances after that people did recognize Bakugo, that he was saved by All Might because a sludge monster was there. So he already is kind of known by people, at least in his area, because of the sludge monster incident. Then Season 3 happened, he got captured, and you gotta imagine how the media is, how they want to make a story and all that. They're going to, do anything they can to make the news keep going before they can, make their money. And so Bakugo's name was constantly just spread out there, saying he was a troubled child, someone that could become a villain, everybody getting a bad first impressions of Bakugo. And we know the truth of Bakugo's character. He's not someone that will become a villain that easily, but someone that doesn't really know his character and they see his regular personality, they're gonna be like, this boy, he's gonna turn out to be a villain, but obviously he's not. And so the media has ruined Bakugo's image. It's not just the fact that he was carrying emotional weight within him, that he might have been the reason why All Might fell, but he also carried the weight that his image, probably for all time, is ruined, because first impressions matter, especially in hero society. How you're viewed by the public really determines on how you can get things done, how people will follow you or want to follow you. Because of that, his first impressions, being such a troubled child and always being, captured by villains or whatever, makes him seem very incompetent, makes him seem very weak. So yeah, Bakugo, he has a lot of reasons to be stressed. He has a lot of reasons to be upset. And he finally just took it all out on Izuku. He had to get it off his chest. So this was a very realistic episode. Anyone that says that this was not like a deconstruction of Bakugo as a character, slowly ripping him down from what he once was since Season 1, honestly has not been paying attention to the story. Because ever since Season 1, he's slowly been just pushed further and further down to where he cannot compete with anyone else in class. He is not that special. And I just like that. And so it finally comes like full circle, and you see in this episode that he confronts Izuku and he gets his feelings on out there. So, glorious stuff. So, he felt inferior. He felt like he could not be a hero. And the reason why is because Izuku had his own beliefs, had his own ideals. He keeps his ideals. And he always believed in saving people. That's what Izuku wanted. He always wanted to save people. That's a big thing, a part of his character. While Bakugo, he was someone that believed in victory. He liked the ideal from, All Might, to where All Might, no matter what circumstance he was in, no matter the situation, he would come out on top. He would win against like a 1v5, 1v100, whatever. All Might would always win. And Bakugo really respected that, thought it was cool, and he wanted to be that type of hero for victory to win, no matter what. And, that's the thing here, is that Bakugo felt like his ideals, what he believed in, or what would be the ideal hero, what All Might is, he started to waver. He's like, am I doing this wrong? Am I not being what I should be? Is Izuku's viewpoint on how heroes should be, or All Might, the proper way to go about it? And have I been wrong all this time? So once again, he felt more inferior. He felt like he just could not stand up to Izuku anymore. So yeah, it's once again another theme that's been ongoing since the very beginning of, My Hero Academia, with ideals. Clash of ideals. That was honestly the whole point of the All for One and One for All fight. Clash of ideals. And I think if anyone's a Bakugo hater after this episode, honestly, you're probably just never going to like his character, because he's developed so much, and this easily makes him one of the best characters of the series, and he's very developed now because of what he had to go through. And the fight with Izuku was holy crap. I just like the little dialogue of how Izuku's like, I don't know if this, fight really matters in the grand scheme of things. It might just be a petty fight that's useless, but he's like, I'm the only one that really can accept this man's feelings. Because if Izuku would have turned Bakugo away and been cruel to him, in that moment, Bakugo might not have been himself anymore. He might have actually broke and maybe would have become a villain. Think about it like this. Bakugo is a lot of things. He's a mean kid, but he's still wanting to be a hero. But when your very ideals are questioned, and they're on the point to where you're wondering if you're doing the right thing, that's when you can easily fall from grace. So Izuku actually saved Bakugo in this episode. He was a hero, saved his friend, and he accepted the feelings of his friend of how he was just, emotionally hurt from everything that's happened in these recent times. Can we just acknowledge that My Hero Academia is definitely one of the best anime series in recent times? Like, can we acknowledge that? It's a series that's gotten me hyped up every single week since it started airing, and it's something that continuously impresses me, something that gets me emotionally, because honestly, when I saw that Bakugo scene where he was, he's like, it's my ideals wrong or whatever, it's my fault All Might, lost, and all that, like, why he no longer can do anything, that moment was powerful. I haven't felt like that in so long. Like, just being that emotionally attached to a character to where I actually want to tear up and cry. It really got me. It really choked me up. Like, I was sitting there, like, drinking some coffee, and I started choking up. I'm like, oh my god, like, this really hits me hard. So, yeah, just a very, very good direction for Bakugo. I want to talk about how Bakugo and Izuku have mastered the art of kind of wasting time. They were both vacuuming the same exact spot for probably hours. You're not going to tell me you're vacuuming the same spot for that long. You're obviously doing that because you just don't want to clean the toilets of UA, which I probably don't want to imagine how bad they probably look, because when I think about the certain characters, it probably could be a bit of a mess. So, I see you, Izuku. I see you, Bakugo. Take your time, not wanting to vacuum, other places, just vacuuming in one spot for majority of the time. But there was a very cute scene between Izuku and Bakugo, and that is the fact that Bakugo gives some encouragement, words of encouragement to Izuku. It's like, your leg, your shoot style, it can't actually participate in a slugfest. It's not good for that because there's just too much delay in your attacks because of how much you overthink things. It causes it to where there's a delay in your body moving, and which in turn causes where I could kind of keep up with you. So, Izuku figured out he had a fatal flaw, is that he thinks too much. Like, it's good that he thinks about his, attacks and stuff, but he thinks so much, which in turn causes it to where his attacks are delayed, and people can dodge them, or, be aggressive towards him and hold back his attacks. That's how Bakugo was able to win in the first place. And if Izuku is able to mix up his attacks with using shoot style but also his fist, then he might actually have a chance, which is what Bakugo was trying to say to Izuku, which, once again, this shows that Bakugo has finally acknowledged or accepted Izuku, and Izuku has accepted him, and that they both are looking at each other to inspire themselves and to be better heroes. It's just a great way to really build up these two rivalries and, just have them continuously trying to be one of the best heroes of all time. But that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And I love you guys. Please be safe, stay healthy. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.